Hi, everybody. Welcome to School of Scarlett. Today, I have another intuitive message for you. So, today's intuitive message is a very strong one, and it's no coincidence that you're here today. I'm going to be talking about living a life they warned you about. And so, along your path, maybe your family, your friends, coworkers, teachers have warned you to stay away from this type of life. This isn't a good idea. Don't do that. You know, think it over. That's irresponsible. And so maybe you haven't done the things that have been in your heart, or maybe you have done it. So whether or not you are living the life they warned you about, or you're still thinking about living that life, this message is for you. So behind me, you'll see my cow, Penny, this is Belle, and this is Dreamer. These are my livestock animals, and there's another cow running around somewhere. And so my life, in a lot of ways, has always been going against the grain. In some ways, I have tried to follow the blueprint that society lays out for you. In other ways, it was too confining. But it's still possible to live within the norms of society to some extent and have freedom and do the things that you want to do. So you kind of have to find that balance. So that's what I'm going to be talking about here today. The reason that this message came through was because of a conversation I was having with my daughter today. I make intuitive messages based on daily life things that come through every day. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. Hit that notification bell so that you get notified of my daily intuitive messages. So I was driving my daughter to school, and I'm not sure if she's going to have this sub again, but she was telling me a story about a substitute she has at her school. And I don't know if that substitute will ever watch this channel or this video, but all in all, she was very inspiring to my daughter. So that's a plus. And she was inspiring to other students because she was telling me about what her friends were also saying. So this substitute is a little bit out there from what my daughter was saying. On the outside, my daughter says she appears like a very soft spoken, normal woman. But she says that as you continue to get to know her and spend time in the class with the sub, you begin to see that she's crazy. And so my daughter was sharing with me the crazy things that this woman does, but in a way that wasn't to put her down, but in a way to say, this is actually pretty interesting and inspiring. My daughter was kind of excited to go to school today. I have a suspicion she's going to have that sub again, which is why she was telling me the story. But she says that other students also talk about this sub, and they have all these stories of what this sub does. They have this one story where the teachers had left some coloring sheets where color inside the lines. It's sort of like a rote sheet with already something on there. And instead of coloring in the lines, apparently she colors green houses all over it. Another story she tells is that she lives on a tiny house and has her own farm. So, an unconventional way of living, right? And another story she told was that she has chickens, and she has lots of chickens, and she doesn't give them actual names. She calls them sluts, which is kind of unconventional, right? Kind of strange. My daughter was laughing. And the other thing is, she apparently brings costume jewelry to school and lets the girls try them on, and they're really like gaudy pieces of jewelry. And she lets them keep the jewelry. It's just like, costume jewelry. So this substitute is really someone that changes the pattern. She appears to be like everyone else, like following, everything in society, right? She apparently dresses pretty normally. She's soft spoken, and she teaches at the school as a sub. But when you get to know her, you start to see that she's not like everybody else. She's a pattern kind of interrupter. And that's a good thing for my daughter and other people to experience. You see, we're not all meant to be exact copies of each other. We're all not meant to do exactly the same job. We're not all meant to live exactly the same way. And we know this because even on YouTube, one of the things I really enjoy watching is the way other people live. So I like to watch people that live on the mountains in Mexico. I like to watch people from other countries like Russia and how they live. I like to watch travel bloggers, people that don't even have like a home, but they travel around. I like to watch unconventional ways of living, like living in a tiny house. I can't think of the channel name, but there's a channel that also does like interviews of people that live in unusual houses. It's something that's always spoken to me, and I don't think I'm the only one. So I've chosen to live in different ways myself. I've chosen to live in a tiny house. I've chosen to live very remotely. I've chosen to, lead a life that fits me. And if I found that a job wasn't for me or anything wasn't for me, I broke free from it. And I learned this long ago because of a situation I was in, working in a place where my soul literally felt caged. And it felt like my soul was just too big for that cage and I couldn't stay there. I couldn't imagine living a life where I worked there, another 40 years feeling that way. And so you might find yourself in that situation where you desire to change your job, to change the way that you do your relationships, to change your living situation. Maybe you want to live in the country or you want to live in the city or you want to move, to another country, live a different kind of way. Maybe there's something different about how you want to have children. Maybe you don't want to have children or you do want to have children, but you want to do it unconventionally. Maybe you want to have a farm. Maybe you want to have a lot of animals. Maybe you just want to have the freedom to be every day and just do the things that you want to do every day without having the pressures of daily survival, right? So, whatever is in your heart, I want you to know that it's possible for you. If you align to your heart, if you begin to take the steps into those things that you want, going against the grain, you're going to get there. So I'm going to tell you that you're going to come up against resistance. This is the life they warned you about. So when you choose to quit that job, or you're talking about quitting that job, or you choose to go live somewhere differently, or you're thinking about moving somewhere differently, or you choose to get married to someone that is different from everybody else your family knows or something, you're going to come up against resistance. They're going to begin to warn you, and it's going to be hard because you're not going to want to disappoint people. So you may give in and follow that. But I'm telling you now, it's going to be a long, messy road because eventually you're going to have to turn around and follow your heart. So you might as well do it now in this moment. And this video is a confirmation to you to go ahead and follow it now. You cannot go wrong following your heart, but you will come against resistance. You will be misunderstood. You will probably lose friends. You may even lose family. You may even lose what seems like respect. You may even lose what seems like is support. You may feel totally alone. You may feel like you've made the wrong choice, but you cannot make the wrong choice when you're choosing yourself. So keep that in mind no matter what the feeling is that comes up. Eventually, when you're leading the life that you want to live and you're content in the level of freedom you have and the things that you've aligned with, the life that you've created for yourself, those people that are meant to be in your circle will be there. And those that are not meant to be there will be gone. And so life cleans itself up in a way. You don't have to really do that. People that we thought should be in our life a lot of times don't belong there. They don't belong there, and these things will begin to show you that. So, this message really is a message about coloring outside the lines, just like that substitute teacher did. If you get handed, this is your blueprint, this is the coloring page for you. Color outside the lines, create your own picture, create your own painting that reflects who you are. As a matter of fact, I teach younger kids, and one of the things that they don't allow anymore, this is in preschool, is to actually put out coloring pages. They call them rote pages, and they go against that now because it doesn't allow for creativity of the brain. So they don't encourage that teachers make copies of things for kids to color anymore. It helps for a little bit in their hand growth and things like that, just to show them. But as far as teaching creativity, the brain, what actually activates the brain and allows it to grow and really develop and flourish is a blank sheet of paper and an idea and something coming from the child's own mind and heart and allowing them to be creative. So that's what's actually encouraged more now. It used to be a lot of coloring pages. That's not a thing anymore. So it's not a thing anymore in schools, and it's not a thing anymore for us. We are free to choose, and you are free to choose at all times. So no more coloring pages. The other thing that I'm seeing here is the dirt road home to my house. You have a paved road or a dirt road, and you're going to find that a lot of times The paved road that someone's already set out for you is not going to be the road for you. You're going to end up taking the dirt road. And the dirt road is going to be a little bit more bumpy. It's going to have a little bit more holes, or, it's going to be a little different. But in the end, it's going to lead you home. It's going to really lead you home to your heart. So follow that dirt road. You will get home. If you follow the paved road that everybody follows, you're not going to get anywhere except where everybody else is. And if you notice and you look around society, the majority of people are miserable. They're complaining about money, they're complaining about politics, they're complaining about jobs, they're complaining about everything. It doesn't seem like they're happy with anything that's happening in this world. And I want you to know that you can create your own reality where you are happy every day, where you can tune out all of that noise and all of that unhappiness that is down the paved road. It doesn't have to exist in your reality if you so choose to lead a life they warned you about. So lots of people will warn you along the way, lots of different things. Even when you work somewhere where they'll warn you, don't do this, don't do that, you shouldn't do that. We all do it this way. Listen to your heart. I know there's been many of times that even in a workplace, they've warned me not to do something this way. And I knew in my heart that I was in the right and there was something that needed to be explored here. We're not meant to just follow everyone and be complete copies of people. We're meant to see and experience what comes next in our evolution, in our reality. If we never explored, let's say, psychology, and that's my background, and that's the work that I did. If we never explored a little bit further with that, we would just still be doing what Sigmund Freud did. But have you seen how much has come a long way in psychology? So, what comes next? What is coming up next for you? Allow it to flourish, allow it to be, explore it, no matter what anybody says. They want to keep you in a box, but you're not meant to be in a box. Your soul is so much larger than being kept in a box. And that is what this message is about today. I hope that it resonated with you. If it did resonate with you, give me a thumbs up. Comment down below. Share with me in the comments. What would you like to do in your life? What's something unconventional that you are doing or you want to do? Declare it down in the comment section and begin to create your own reality right here and now. If you are new here, I want to welcome you again to my channel. To hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and come back for my daily intuitive messages. If you would like to connect further for a one-on-one session, courses, any of my offerings, or you would like to partner with School of Scarlett, you can find all of my links in my description and in the pinned comment down below. I will catch you on our next message. I love you all.